Hey everyone, I am 20 years old and I'm a saxophonist and composer from Cape Town, South Africa. Um, I love music, I love jazz, I love improvisation, and I am currently studying at the Berklee College of Music. I'm in my second year. I'm studying with George Garzone, and I'm living in Boston and loving it.
You're still only 20 years old. Do you feel 20?
That's a good question, because in some senses, yes, but also no, because it's like, I mean, it's obviously hard being away from home, but
Yeah.
it's also really exciting being away from home. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but also just with how quick things happen, and yeah, like you say, being away, sometimes it feels, I can imagine it feels surreal sometimes. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. Everything happened so quick. It was like I was out of high school, and then all of a sudden I got this opportunity, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna take it. So and I just like everything just got set into motion so quickly. But I think it's a beautiful thing, and yeah, I love it.
So you said it's been your second year that side now. So is it like a bachelor in music or specifically in jazz?
My degree is a bachelor in music. It's, I guess, the same thing as a BMus degree in South Africa, but my major the major that I'm doing kind of determines what I'm studying.
No.
So I'm doing a dual major at Berklee, and I'm doing a dual major in performance, so saxophone performance, which is how I study with the teachers, and I join ensembles, and I get like performance-based like lessons and workshops and things. And then I'm also doing a degree in contemporary writing and production, or CWP, which is basically a fairly broad degree on arranging, composition, production. You learn how to record, you learn how to produce, like recordings and run recording sessions. Like you can work in a studio, and I'll learn to compose for orchestra, for jazz orchestra, big band. So yeah, those are the two like majors in my Bachelor of Music degree.
That's actually super interesting. It's the first time you say your first major is in performance.
Yeah. Well, there's no first or second.
Oh yeah.
It's just two.
Wow, I'm just mind blown because it's not often where you hear artists actually seeing priority in that. Because in the first season of this very same podcast series, we had a discussion around performance as being a part of the overall artistry and how it's often not seen as that. So how's that experience been specifically with the performance modules?
With performance, so first thing I noticed when I got to the US, this is even before I got to Boston, is the culture surrounding musical performances and music just in general is a lot different. Firstly, the respect that people have for musicians and their craft. In the US, people have so much more respect for musicians. There's so much more eagerness and willingness to be a part of a musical like scene and community or culture. It's like, it's in South Africa, it's like if you're a performing musician, sometimes people say, oh, he's a performing musician, like, he's broke as hell, which maybe is true because I am broke, but not because I'm a performer. But it's like people will pay to come and see your show, even if you've never heard of an artist. People will show up because they want to see live music, and it's like they want that experience.
And have you been doing a lot of gigs that side away from your studies?
Yes, I have. It's I love to play. Obviously, like I love to jam and play and whatever, but I also love to play other people's original music. I think it's amazing. I'm playing with this bass player from Spain a lot. His name is Ferran Rico, and he's not only an incredible bass player, but he's also a phenomenal composer. So when he calls me for a gig, sometimes it'll be, hey, can you do this gig tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, sure. He says, cool, I'll print the music. I'm like, okay, I'll be fine. But then the stuff he prints is like incredibly hard, but it's amazing. So that's what I love to do. Is I love to play original music.
Yeah. And I guess also you being away, you try and have, I guess, a connection, because I like to think of it. Zen and myself yesterday spoke of a South African sound and how he is trying to, in the space he finds himself in Amsterdam, how he's trying to bring that across and, I guess, introduce audiences to the sound that we have this side. So I imagine it's a similar case with you as well. In as much as you played with other artists, you're also trying to bring an influence of your own, an influence that you are familiar with.
For sure. I think that's I mean, even if I didn't want to do that, I think it would just be a subconscious thing, because that's that's where I grew up and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that's not, maybe Zen is more focused on that than I am, for now at least. I mean, I'm just at the moment I'm here, and I'm trying to be like one of those, what do you call it, like the drain at the bottom of a sink, when it makes a whirlpool.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to be. Is I'm trying to be the center of that whirlpool. So everything that's around me is like I just want to absorb it. And it's cool. I mean, it's great. It's like I just try to absorb as much as I can here.
So when last were you back this side? I imagine it's for Grahamstown.
Yeah, that was when, like June. Yeah, like whatever, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. Whatever.
And I mean, just that experience, Grahamstown as well, the experience of jazz in that city, in that town, in that period, has become sort of a South African tradition. You've done the band now for 2 years in a row. Why do you think it's so important, and what makes it stand out from other jazz gatherings?
Well, I spoke to one of my teachers in high school, Kingsley Beidendach, is a great piano player and an amazing teacher too. And one time I heard him say that it's like, for people who don't listen to a lot of jazz, who are new to jazz, it's kind of hard to listen to when you listen to it by yourself from like Spotify or whatever. But to see a live music or live jazz truly is something like breathtaking, something special. And I think with a festival like the Makanda Festival, I almost said Standard Bank, but no, they bring together like whatever it's hundreds of students from across the country who go through that similar experience. It's like you see this live music and live, like you see it happen in real time, and it's like from the instrument to your ear, the sound. And I think that's like, even for someone who's never heard the music before, I think that's like, I think that changes something. It's like it changes how you feel about music, and it's like you discover the thrill of what it's like to see this happen in front of your eyes. And if it gets like an entire generation of high school level musicians and even like college level musicians, even adults who've never heard it, who just come to the festival for the vibes, it's like you can really influence an entire group of people. So I think that's why it's important.
Yeah, and I think from an artist perspective, I mean, for example, a person like yourself who is very much in the beginning stages of their career, that environment, you are exposed to all of those industry leaders who are also there to come play, and you just have this all of a sudden proximity to all of those guys, your Benjamin Jaftes, your Darren English, your Bokani Dyers, all those guys are right there in the space, and those are the guys who you would say are the leaders in the space that you're existing in at the moment. So I guess that also kind of, from an artist's perspective, is a big plus, I can imagine.
Yes, for sure. It's a big plus, and it's also kind of scary.
Yeah.
I talked to my one of my teachers, great saxophonist, Godwin Louis. He said to me, like, as soon as you leave high school, as soon as you leave college, like, your heroes, the people that you look up to, they
Yeah.
become your peers.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man, like, these guys are we're in the same battlefield, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like we're like, I look up to them, but at the same time, it's like, I guess they're my peers now.
Yeah.
Which is great, and it's great because it's an opportunity for me, like someone who's fresh, like on the scene, to hang with these guys and to get to know them, and to hear them play, and for them to hear me play, and maybe even play together. And I think that's amazing. That's very important for the development of music and musicians, and also to build a scene.
Yeah. And I mean, you speak of, sometimes you get the opportunity to play with them as well. How have you found that experience, particularly because I say this because this guy's also at some point where you are now, and they've played with some brilliant guys who came before them. How do you find that transition from when perhaps you play alongside your actual peers, and when you play with these guys?
I think it's, well, for me at least. I mean, I can't speak for everyone else, but in terms of the community in South Africa, and at the festival in Makanda, is it's been like not easy, but I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's really like smooth. I think it's because it just speaks to like their character, because it means that they're welcoming, and they're warm, and they're willing to share. They're generous, and they're also like, I think, like, they are probably as excited about meeting new people as I am.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, which I think is awesome, and that's really important. And like someone like Kesavan Naidu, who's I think he's in Switzerland now, but someone like Kesavan Naidu, who's played in New York for a couple of years, which is exactly what I want to do. To play with someone like him at a festival, and just play tunes with him is incredible. And it's like, it's so generous of him to be willing to do that, and it's great to see that the festival is creating an environment like that.
Yeah. And just to bring it back to you, I know you do compose some of your own music, and you've had shows of your own. How would you best describe your composition style? Because I know, especially when you have band members, often they are able to pick on, oh, he writes very difficult or very complex composition. So how best would you describe your own compositions?
That's a good question. I mean, I have to really think about this, but how would I describe my own compositions? I mean, for the most part, I try to write things that are like lyrical and that are singable. I like to dive into like compositional processes of greats from way back. I'm talking about like Bach. Like Bach is probably one of the, like, he's probably like if someone had to make a list of the best composers, he would be right up there, if number one. And looking at the way that like someone like Bach doesn't write challenging music for the sake of it being challenging, but for the sake of development and sort of having a narrative that he follows. Um, like different peaks, different climaxes, and but the way that it still sounds beautiful, it still sounds like it still sounds melodic, and there's melody and there's something beautiful about it. I mean, I'd say that's how I go about composing. It's like something lyrical, something melodic that develops and tells a story.
And you play the sax. Treat this as a question coming from a very dumb person, right? When you write your compositions, are they always necessarily saxophone leads?
Well, actually, that's a very good question. But I actually I actually sit at the piano first.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like when I write, or just music, maybe in general, but it's like the melody and the harmony exist at the same time, and there's no chords on a saxophone, so it's like
yeah.
But sometimes I do try that. Is like I write something I try to write something down that I can play on the saxophone and make something of that. But I haven't actually completed anything like that.
And do you find that I can imagine now you've gotten to a point where you have several compositions that you've written. Do you find that becomes a routine? Do you have a routine to your writing?
Yes. I'll start my practice sessions, because I normally get practice rooms with the piano. I'll start practice sessions by like trying to write something and see if it goes anywhere. But I feel like I think the most important thing is just about trying to write something every single day, because it's the more it's like practicing your instrument. It's like if you don't practice it every day, you're gonna go out of practice.
So tell me, what's my experience? Well, what I've known of jazz artists is an often personality trait that goes hand in hand with, often jazz cats are isolated. So how has your experience of the city of Boston, beyond just your studies and your gigging, been? How have you been enjoying Boston?
I think it's great. It's a beautiful city. It's like so historical and stuff. I think it's like really old. The city is great. Obviously, being from Cape Town, no city is ever going to be as good as Cape Town, except for New York. But I think the thing that separates this place from maybe anywhere else in the world, and I mean the US or the East Coast in the US or whatever, but there's like a community everywhere you go. It's like people look after each other, and I feel like that's rare. That's like for my friend invites me to his house for their family gatherings for Thanksgiving, which is like it's weird, not weird, but it's like just not.
Well, for South African to make sense of it.
Yeah. I guess for me it is weird, but it's like they have that gathering, and for them to invite me, it's so I'm not lonely. It's like that's amazing. I mean, and everywhere you go, there's this sense of like community and people wanting to help you. But at the same time, Boston MFs are intense.
Yeah.
So the drivers here are like crazy.
And I imagine you use taxi a lot, or are you within close proximity to all the spaces you need to be at?
Well, actually, mostly I use for transport. I use the train because I have a pretty good public transport system here. And other than that, I bike.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. And so what I'm sensing from you now is your next step up is New York.
Yeah.
In a few years' time. What is the thing with New York?
I think there's in New York there's probably more than anywhere else, but there's the amount of musicians in the city is huge, and not just the amount of musicians, the amount of great musicians.
Yeah.
And the culture surrounding music there is probably different to anywhere else in the world, because people are constantly fighting for gigs and fighting to get better, fighting to meet people, and the scene is just so alive, so much more alive than anywhere else in the world. And it's kind of like, the way I see New York is life there is kind of like it's like a drug, and I'm already addicted to it.
And I mean, also, basically you say not only from just the excitement that you can get from being in New York and just that space, but also you're speaking on for your artistry, the fact that you're now in essentially the best city in the world where all the best artists are, having to compete with them. I mean, compete, well, yeah, you do compete for gigs and so forth, so having to compete with the best might also be an advantage to your own personal growth and your artistry.
Well, exactly. That's kind of the whole idea behind it. Is there's people that are constantly pushing you, which in turn helps your own growth in playing.
Question: Where's Nate?
Yeah, I don't know where that man's at right now. He's in Cape Town. He's we talk pretty frequently, like we text and stuff.
I'll tell you this much. I have a video of you guys. I have no idea what was going on, but you guys said in that video that in the next 10 years, you guys will be back in Grahamstown and you will be the biggest stars. I've never heard of stars in the jazz scene, but you guys are caught on audio saying you'll be back as the biggest jazz stars.
Oh, man. Well, I don't remember saying that, but I hope it's true. No, but I guess it's not, for me, it's not about being a star and being famous, but for me, it's more about playing with like the best musicians, playing with great musicians, and, having my own band, being part of other people's bands. That's what I want to do.
I was about to just tap a bit into that, because you speak of, for you, it's about playing with the best and having your own band and so forth. So just to maybe reverse a bit into your composition, when you are composing, are you thinking of it in a recording sense? Because I imagine at some point you would love to record your music, but do you ever think of that, of your composition in a live space and your composition in a recording space?
Not while I'm composing. I guess some things are instrumentation specific, but for the most part, it's like I write something that sounds beautiful to me, and then the way I perform it, I guess, will be like trial and error. In the sense that it's like, maybe I'll put a guitar on here, maybe I'll take the piano out, maybe I'll get a different guitar player, maybe I'll get a different drummer, maybe the drummer should put something on his snare or something like that. Maybe the bass player should, whatever, change something. So I think that's as long as this song exists, there's so many different ways to play it with so many different instrumentations, and I just got to find the one that works best for a scenario like that.
And are you is recording or having a project out anything that you have in your mind at the moment? Is it in the pipeline somewhere?
Maybe not for at least like the next 2. Maybe at the end of my time here at the school, I'll think about something like that. But for now, I'm just focusing on getting better and getting to know people and getting to play with people.
You're focusing on absorbing everything.
Yeah.
That's great. So I guess the question now will be, I know you're speaking of in 2 years' time, an LP at some point move to New York and so forth. But from an overall perspective, what else do you look forward to?
Let's think. Well, I mean, long term, what I want to do is I want to live in New York and have my own band and, tour, go to Europe, go to South Africa.
That's to South Africa.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Go back to South Africa. That's something that'll probably never change. I mean,
yeah.
That's something that I'm going to hopefully start in like a few years' time, and do that for hopefully the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know, the future is now. It's like McCartney said.
It sounds so cheesy. The future is but actually that's a great point. The future is now, because another big reason why I have the guest list that I have for this season of the podcast is because the future is now, and I feel particularly in our jazz spaces that young people are setting the mark. You know, young people are taking over, and you guys have no boundaries that you conform to. You're just willing to go out there and explore the world, explore your sound, and just take it to another level. It's an exciting time, if you ask me. It's a really exciting time. I think this has been a great conversation.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you guys for agreeing to do this, because I think in a couple of years' time you'll look back and you think, oh, I remember when I did that.
I'm gonna look back and be like, bro, you should have gotten a haircut for myself.
I'm gonna send you this, and I'm gonna once you've moved out of Boston, I'm gonna send you a clip of this. And remember that Boston apartment of yours.
Yeah.
But are you enjoying it that side, besides the weather and everything?
Am I enjoying it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The independence. Because I imagine you back home you lived with the parents and stuff.
Yeah. And whenever I go back, I'm obviously still with my parents, but because I guess I never moved out in Cape Town per se.
Yeah.
But, I think it's cool. It's also a lot of responsibility, because it's I'm young, whatever. But it's like I'm living my dream.
Yeah, that's how I first felt when I first moved out of home, and then a couple of years later I realized it's actually cheaper living at home. Hey.
Well, yeah. Well, now that I've moved out, I wanted to move out so bad when I was at home, and now that I've actually moved out, I'm like, damn, I miss my mom.
Imagine this: free accommodation, free meal daily. Why do we move out of the house?
Yeah, exactly.
No, man.